The biggest shift for them has been that mindset shift and has been that empowerment, so they feel like they can do this. This doesn't have to take hours a day. They can see changes and feel changes in their bodies and in their lives just by taking one step at a time.
Hello everyone, I'm Emma Jade. Welcome to MOMCAST. It's about that time. We just started February, and according to research, Forbes reports that the majority of U.S. adults who set New Year's resolutions give them up right about now. Close to 40% of U.S. adults set New Year's resolutions each year. Only 9% successfully keep them. Can you believe that? 23% abandon them within the first week. Only 36% keep them past the first month. And yes, February is when the majority of us just forget about our resolutions altogether. Yeah, it's all right. I'm right there with you. The top resolutions, you could probably guess them. Money, so saving or making more of it, and health, whether that's eating better or just working out. And the Today Show is actually stepping in here with that second resolution, health and wellness. There's a new app that you can join. It's called Start Today. I sat down with one of their top contributors of the app, Stephanie Mansour, about how all of this came to be and how you can work out with Al Roker. Okay, Stephanie, so many of us start the new year with lofty goals of eating right, working out consistently, and this is actually backed up by research. The majority of us drop off right about now. Why?
Yeah, the problem is that we're all so ambitious. We've all got these great goals that we want to achieve, whether that's we want to lose weight, or we want to have more energy to run around with our kids, or we want to be able to feel more positive about how we look in our clothes. We've got these great goals, but the problem is in our day-to-day lives, life gets in the way. So how do we actually stay committed to those goals is the bigger question. And my answer for that is we need to create daily habits, daily rituals that make us feel like, hey, I'm doing a good job with, whether it's my food or whether it's my exercise or whether it's my mental health, I'm doing a good job. And here's what I did today that's making me get a little bit closer towards my big goal, yes, but also making me feel happy, making me feel healthy, and making me feel encouraged.
One of the top goals year after year is losing weight, getting healthy, but sometimes we keep that goal so broad. We just say, I want to lose weight or I want to eat healthier. How do we take that from a goal to a way of life?
So I have clients all the time that say, okay, I want to lose 30 pounds this year. I want to lose 50 pounds this year. I want to lose 5 pounds. What we need to do is really need to break that down. So we're looking to go for weight loss, at least around 1 to 2 pounds is the average here that we're going for per week, per month, whatever you want to set for yourself. But if you want to expedite this, there's other things that you can do. But just for the general population, we'll say, that's what we're going for. And how can I make a dent in that every single day? So I really encourage people to write out their workouts in their calendar. Put your workout in just like you would a doctor's appointment, just like you would an activity for your kid, or just like you would for your work meetings. And then also think about a plan for your food. So are you going to get a grocery list and go to the grocery store once a week? Are you going to meal prep? Are you more of an on-the-fly person, so you need some healthy snacks that you can grab and go? And then finally, mentally, what are you going to say to yourself in those times where I'd rather just sit on the couch instead of do my workout? Or, you know what, I'd rather stay in bed than make a healthy breakfast. What's something that you can say to yourself that's going to be like, okay, let's go. Yes, I'm committed to myself.
Well, and it looks like the Today Show is going to help us out with that, with this brand new Start Today app, right?
Yeah, what I love about this Start Today program is that I've been doing our Today Show fitness routines, our monthly workouts now, for 5 or 6 years. And they were so popular because online we had a monthly calendar, and every single day I'd tell you the exact workout to do, with modifications, by the way, so good for all fitness levels. And I'd also have some, mindset motivation, some things that you can say to yourself that's going to help to keep you committed and keep you wanting to make this a habit. it. And in addition, we've got a community of almost 1 million people that get our daily newsletter. So because people were so into this, we created the first ever Start Today app. So you can actually exercise with me in a video every single day and follow along and do our monthly challenges. And in addition to all the workouts that I have there for you, we've got trainers that have different modalities too. So whether you want dance cardio or Pilates or yoga, or maybe you want to get into meditating this year, we've got something for everyone, and you can just pick one of those challenges to follow along with. Because a lot of times what happens is, it's like, okay, what am I going to do today? So we take the guesswork out of it for you. So I always encourage people to sign up for some sort of plan or program. If you want to get that Start Today app, we have a QR code that you can subscribe to the app and also get a free 7-day trial so you can check it out. Doing something like that is going to help you to feel more accountable. And plus you're doing it alongside with a lot of other people, so you feel that sense of camaraderie and support too.
That's what I think is so cool about Start Today, that you're working out with Al Roker, with you, Stephanie. You feel like you got a whole community right there with you.
A lot of our audience was finding these monthly workouts on today.com, and they were becoming so popular that we said to the Today Show, like, hey, do you want to open this up to our viewers, not just people finding this on the internet? So we started doing this on the show, and at the time there were about 5,000 members of this community. And every month I would go on and present, the workout challenge that I came up with for that month. And like I mentioned, it's very accessible. There's modifications, so all levels can do this. So usually I have a beginner, an intermediate, and an advanced level. So whether you're just struggling to get off the couch and walk to your mailbox and back, or whether you're running 5Ks or 10Ks, whether you want to do strength training or cardio, I've got a challenge for you. So because that, popularity of those challenges grew and grew, now we have almost 1 million members. So that's how the launch of this app came about.
Still to come right here on MOMCAST. We know working out is half the battle when it comes to health. We got to talk about eating right too. And Steph has some incredible tips on how to do it, taking the work out of it for us. That's next, right here on MOMCAST. That's what I think is so cool about Start Today, that you're working out with Al Roker, with you, Stephanie. You feel like you got a whole community right there with you.
A lot of our audience was finding these monthly workouts on today.com, and they were becoming so popular that we said to the Today Show, like, hey, do you want to open this up to our viewers, not just people finding this on the internet? So we started doing this on the show, and at the time there were about 5,000 members of this community. And every month I would go on and present, the workout challenge that I came up with for that month. And like I mentioned, it's very accessible. There's modifications, so all levels can do this. So usually I have a beginner, an intermediate, and an advanced level. So whether you're just struggling to get off the couch and walk to your mailbox and back, or whether you're running 5Ks or 10Ks, whether you want to do strength training or cardio, I've got a challenge for you. So because that, popularity of those challenges grew and grew, now we have almost 1 million members. So that's how the launch of this app came about. It's like, why don't we have something that you can pull up on your phone and watch and follow along with in video format, by the way. And, I got to mention, it's not just me. I actually have walking workouts where I'm with Al Roker, and he and I are doing walking workouts, and he's, giving his motivational tips to our viewers and to our members too. So it's a really robust way to exercise, and also we've got meal plans, recipes, and motivation on there too.
Yes, meal prepping. That's so great. Okay, Stephanie, I want to know your story and your background. How did you get into this, where you are now the go-to fitness guru for the Today Show?
I was my own first client. I gained the freshman 15, 20, 25 pounds in college almost 20 years ago. And, I wasn't talking very nicely to myself, and I was beating myself up like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I get a grip on my food? I hate exercising, but how do I exercise? Because like many people, I grew up playing sports, and, once I went to college, I stopped playing sports. So there went my activity. But, I had to lose weight myself and change how I talked about myself and change my inner self-talk and finally change how I viewed food and exercise and viewing both of those things as things that can help me and things that I get to choose to do every day rather than these are a burden or these are a chore or, eating healthy is too expensive or exercising is too hard. I really had to break it down for myself so that it was more attainable for me. And I felt so good doing it in moderation that's what really led me into doing this almost the last 20 years.
Stephanie, it is not easy keeping up with these goals that we set for ourselves. And when we fall off the wagon, we fall hard. And it feels impossible to get back to our resolutions. So what is your advice for people who want to get back, but it just feels way too out of reach?
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because I've got 2 points to say about that. Number one is that the more that you're beating yourself up over choices that you made, the more you're digging yourself into that hole. So if you can take that all or nothing mentality, I've either got to be 100% healthy and into my exercise, or I'm going to just keep eating my sweets and go in this downward spiral and not move. The more we can come more in the middle and approach this from a place of moderation and balance and thinking what will work for me and my lifestyle and my schedule, then the more successful we will be. And the second point is many of our Start Today members say that the biggest shift for them has come with thinking about adding something in, not things they have to take out in order to reach their goals. So not necessarily thinking about cutting out sugar or, cutting out days where they're sedentary or cutting out all of their negative self-talk, but rather how can I add things in? How can I add in more protein? How can I add in more movement? How can I add in a positive compliment to myself once a day? So really changing our mindset around, the traditional diet and exercise industry, I feel is very much so like these are the things you need to cut out in order to be successful. But for myself, in my almost 20 years of doing this and with our Start Today program with the Today Show, it's all about what can I add in so that I feel happier and healthier.
Yes, add in. I love that. Making it feel like a positive experience, not something that we're missing out on. So how does this work? Is it just workouts that you're providing? Is it food prepping?
Yes, so every day we have a different workout and every month there's a different workout challenge. So you can do all of my challenges and exercise along with me every single day. And then we also have options for different trainers that you can test out. You can do their challenges, maybe meditation, or maybe you're looking for, more HIIT workouts, high intensity interval training. There's a plethora of other trainers and options on there. And then there's also meal plans that are budget friendly, Mediterranean diet, whatever you're looking for there food-wise. And finally, the motivational side of things. We've got quotes from Al. We've got transformations from our Start Today members, some of whom have lost over 100 pounds following our guidance. I mean, it really is a great place to go if you're needing inspiration and motivation.
If you're on social media, I feel like we hear about new, groundbreaking diets every other day. This works or this doesn't work. It's just too much. So is there such thing as the best diet, in your opinion, or just a way of eating that you recommend to your clients?
Yes. All right. I'll answer your question about the diet in a second. But the number one thing that I always recommend people to do is to add in more protein and to eat more often. So think about your metabolism. You want to light the fire of your metabolism. So if you're someone that's into intermittent fasting and it works for you, that's great. You don't have to mess with it. But for those of us that maybe you've tried intermittent fasting or you're just looking for something easy to do right now and get results, I recommend waking up and eating protein within an hour of waking up because you want to light that fire. You want to get your metabolism going first thing in the morning. Then you want to eat a few hours later. Again, a protein snack, whether it's a protein bar, maybe Greek yogurt with some berries. Maybe it's lunch 3 hours later, whatever your schedule is. And then you want to have that afternoon snack, and then you want to have dinner, and depending on how early you eat dinner, maybe you need a bedtime snack. But eating every few hours to stabilize your blood sugar levels is one of the greatest tips that many of our Start Stay members and also my private weight loss clients have followed in order to help them have better energy levels, better focus.
Don't go anywhere. Listen, when we fall off the wagon, we fall hard. But Stephanie says you can make the change and start today. The motivation behind her mantra. That's ahead right here on MOMCAST. If you're on social media, I feel like we hear about new, groundbreaking diets every other day. This works or this doesn't work. It's just too much. So is there such thing as the best diet, in your opinion, or just a way of eating that you recommend to your clients?
Yes. All right. I'll answer your question about the diet in a second. But the number one thing that I always recommend people to do is to add in more protein and to eat more often. So think about your metabolism. You want to light the fire of your metabolism. So if you're someone that's into intermittent fasting and it works for you, that's great. You don't have to mess with it. But for those of us that maybe you've tried intermittent fasting or you're just looking for something easy to do right now and get results, I recommend waking up and eating protein within an hour of waking up, because you want to light that fire. You want to get your metabolism going first thing in the morning. Then you want to eat a few hours later. Again, a protein snack, whether it's a protein bar, maybe Greek yogurt with some berries. Maybe it's lunch 3 hours later, whatever your schedule is. And then you want to have that afternoon snack, and then you want to have dinner, and depending on how early you eat dinner, maybe you need a bedtime snack. But eating every few hours to stabilize your blood sugar levels is one of the greatest tips that many of our Start Stay members and also my private weight loss clients have followed in order to help them have better energy levels, better focus, and also help with weight loss. And then secondly, when we talk about, the best diet, I also don't like the word diet, but Mediterranean diet, you kind of have to say that. I recommend that people focus on anti-inflammatory foods. So those are foods that reduce inflammation. So the Mediterranean diet is one of those that focuses on that. So trying to think about consuming leaner proteins as well as more vegetables and healthy fats. Those are three types of foods that I'd recommend focusing on, no matter what healthy eating plan you're trying to follow.
I mean, that's a lot to prepare for every single day between the meals and the snacks. So how can we be successful at food prepping? Because sometimes that feels really overwhelming.
So I always recommend that people make proteins in advance. So if you've only got time for one thing, try to make protein. So whether that's, baking or frying, or not frying necessarily. I mean, that's not the healthiest, but whether you're putting chicken on the stove, get some protein going. Maybe you're doing vegetarian, or, you want to do tofu, or maybe you're going to have some beef ready. Whatever it is, whatever your protein of choice is, try to pre-cook that. If you've got more time, then you can chop up and roast or steam or saute a bunch of veggies. If budget is not of a concern, then get these proteins that are pre-made, or get these veggies that are pre-chopped. Get frozen vegetables. Have things on hand so you could just throw together a quick stir fry, microwave it and warm it up, and put your favorite sauce or dressing on it. And that's a quick, simple, fast meal that you can have in a pinch. So the more things that you have pre-cooked, the easier. Now, if you are someone that is wanting to make things on the fly, I have what I call the lazy person smoothie. Maybe you want a smoothie in the morning, but you don't think you have enough time to put everything in the blender. Just put your protein powder, some ice, some almond milk or water, shake it up, and take that with you to go. It doesn't have to be super complicated.
I honestly think some of the coolest things on the app are the walks with Al Roker, because as fans, we've watched and we've been a part of his health journey for decades now, and it seems right now he's in the best shape of his life.
Yeah, I love walking with Al. He's like, first of all, he's always telling jokes, and he says, he's like, I don't enjoy exercise, but I love how I feel afterwards, and not just physically, but also that sense of accomplishment. So he really keeps it real, and that's really encouraging because, I talk about find a workout that you enjoy. Find something that you like doing. But Al's kind of like, I don't really enjoy this, but I know I need to do this. So his reasons why, his health, his longevity, his overall sense of accomplishment, those are his big reasons why. And that really comes through as we do these walking workouts together. And even if you're not wanting to watch the workouts that we do together, we actually have podcasts of Al. So you can listen to this and go on your own walk and listen to him answer, 20 questions, or listen to him talk about his health journey and have that be an inspiration for you as you're listening. So he really provides us with a lot of encouragement and support, and we call him the Chief Motivation Officer for Start Today. So it's really exciting that he's in that Start Today app.
And you know what? You look at Al, and he really is an inspiration because no matter your age, no matter what the calendar says, we're already in February, but we can start taking care of ourselves right now, any age, anytime.
Yes, you're not alone. It's never too late. The whole reason we call this Start Today is because you can literally start today. So try not to feel intimidated by your big, lofty goals. If that's in your heart, then that is meant for you. But what can you do today to help you get back on track or to help you feel motivated? And I really encourage people, just pick one of three things. Is it I'm going to exercise every day or maybe go on a walk for 5 minutes? Is it I'm going to try to eat more protein today or more vegetables? Or maybe it's I'm going to say something positive to myself. I'm going to give myself a compliment today. Pick one of those three areas, whether it's fitness, food, or your mindset, and just focus on that today. And then that's it. Drop it. Come back to it tomorrow, and it's going to leave you wanting more. So try to not feel like you need to, dump in the whole kitchen sink when it comes to our health and fitness and motivation. Just one little step at a time.
Yes, one step at a time. I love that. This has to be so cool to be part of people's journeys in this way.
Yeah, this is all I've ever wanted, is to be able to communicate with people on a daily basis and see what they think about the workout challenges and what they think about the mindset and the motivational piece. And it is very gratifying for me to hear from our Start Today members that have been following along on this journey even before the Start Today app. And, again, they say the biggest shift for them has been that mindset shift and has been that empowerment. So they feel like they can do this. This doesn't have to take hours a day. They can see changes and feel changes in their bodies and in their lives just by taking one step at a time. So it makes me feel very, very happy and proud to see other people succeeding. And that's why I do this.
You can download the app right now. You get a free 7-day trial, and then it's $9.99 a month. You know what? That's the premise behind Start Today, that it doesn't matter when the new year hit or if you forgot your resolutions or not, you can start today. Thank you so much for watching MomCast. I'm Emma Jade. I'll see you next week.